Nick Wilson with Dan Brownlie after the pre-season draw against Watford. And Dan, it's a slightly different test today in terms of being Championship Academy opposition. Did you see everything you wanted to see from your team today?
Yeah, I think so. We knew it was going to be a tough test. Obviously, they were expected to dominate the ball, and fitness-wise, we anticipated that they'd be slightly better than us, be it full-time. But I think for the large part of the game, I thought we competed really well. And the result is testament to that. Obviously waved away what we believe was a clear penalty as well, so it could have even been a better scoreline. But in terms of what we wanted to get out of it, we've tried a few people in certain positions. We've got minutes into legs. We've welcomed a couple of new trialists that did really well. So it's another good day in the office, and it's unfortunate it's our last home game because I'd probably like one more. But yeah, the signs have been really good.
You missed Ashley Artwell for a lot of last season. 90 minutes today, you got a great goal to cap off a really good performance. You must have been delighted with what you saw from him in particular.
Honest to God, look, I've been asked questions in the past about that Ashley's had, his body is so unkind to him with injuries, and he works incredibly hard to try and get himself fit, and he's so talented, as we've seen there before. And if fans have asked me in previous seasons, like, why have we signed a lad that hasn't been available, and today is the exact reason why you've seen it, because if we can afford Artwell the recovery time and to allow himself to be as fit as possible, you get performances like that. And he is just unplayable at times. His dominance of the ball, his ability to glide past players, and obviously you saw it with the goal. He's glided past 3 or 4 players that are vying to play in the Championship and then buried it in the bottom corner when the angle didn't seem to be there. So he's a phenomenal talent. It's just we just want to try and work with him as best we can to ensure that fitness-wise and prevention of injuries is to its optimum, because if we can do that, we've got a hell of a player on our hands.
And good performances both at the back and the front from players on trial as well. When you've got players showing that kind of level of performance against these teams, that must really excite you about the possibility of adding them to what you've already got.
Yeah, hugely. Look, any player that comes into this existing squad has got to do something really special to put players out of shirts, because last year was, an unbelievable season, and the boys that played last year are more than capable at step 3. That's why I signed them. That was the package that I signed them up with. I want to work with players for 2, 3, 4 seasons where we can. So that was always in the idea. But the players coming in, obviously we had a new centre half today. We had a new striker. And another lad who I think is going to be destined for a higher level, but we're happy to give him the platform, and who knows what will happen in the future. And they all had a really good showing. Obviously the strikers scored, the defenders done really well, and obviously the midfielder didn't really put a foot wrong throughout the game. So again, it's a really good sign. It's amazing that we can attract these types of players and keep moving forward. I don't know that we're done yet. There's still questions around squad depth and can we improve in certain areas, but like I said, if the season was to start tomorrow, I'd be really happy with where we are and what we've got.
So, you say you're happy with where we are and what we've got. We've got 2 weeks until that first game of the season. Are we where you want to be for that game, or is there still more to go?
Yeah, I think so. The numbers are higher than they were last year, but I think we're going to have different challenges this year with distances covered, and we're going to have to utilise the squad. And there were a couple of times last year where you remember we were away at South Park and the bench was full of academy boys, and we've travelled with 4 subs, so we're probably going to be a little bit heavier in terms of squad numbers, which obviously creates competition for places. You look at last week when we played Hyde and Dibden. You start with Paul Hodges, Brad Wilson, and I think Ben Cook played in that game. That wasn't Cookie, I can't remember who it was now, but at home with 3 equally capable players that weren't playing. Same today, you've got your skipper missing, Reedy was away, there's Scotty's away in the Gottlieb Cup, so there's some big important players still to come in. So the fact that we're playing as well as we are, we're still competing, we're getting results, and the fitness levels look really good. We're not a million miles off where we want to be, and I think that 2-week period is going to be really important, but I think we're going to be there.
And just away from the game today and what's going on, it was announced obviously the other day about Brody Pitts moving to Brighton. That's a big one for him and for the club as well. Can you just speak a little bit about what it's been like working with him and what this move will mean?
Yeah, when we brought Brody in, it's a really proud one, because obviously looking at this game today, part of the reason this game's come about is because of the transfer of Ezio. And the difference with Ezio when he came in, we signed him in July, we gave him an amazing platform, the boys were brilliant with him, he went on to score 15 odd games in I think 15 goals in about 10 games, and we provided a real platform and he got his move. the attachment to him was heartfelt, and we still consider like we played a massive part in his game. But with Brody, it's just the depth of it is massive. Like, he's so embroiled, he's so woven into the fabric of this club, from not just his own personality and his love for it, but his granddad's a kit man, his nan is on the board, his auntie's on the board, his friends and family are here kind of watching him. So for that, there's real depth of pride of how well he's developed. And we've worked with him, you know, it's not one of them where it's all been down to him. Aaron Nicholson has worked with him tremendously over the course of the last few years. Ben Wright, his tutor, because you've got to think off the pitch as well, has been a massive thing. But we're really proud of Brody. Like, he's worked tremendously hard. His trajectory over the course of the last 12 months particularly has been sensational. From a lad that made his debut down here in, I think it was the Northants Senior Cup, to then do what he went on to do. And that was, any moment he got warmed up, the fans would be on the edge of their seat knowing something was going to happen. So we're incredibly proud of him. He won't be a stranger to us. Like, he's so, like I say, woven into the fabric of this club that we know that we're going to keep in real good contact with him, as we have done since his departure. But we're really excited about his future. It certainly won't stop now. He's got to work hard, he knows that, but yeah, we're massively proud of what he's done. We're massively proud of what the club has afforded him. And yeah, long may his trajectory continue.
Thank you, Dan. Cheers.
Thank you, Nick.